Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, The Long Game. It's a movie about golf. I'm assuming it's based on a true story. I just get that sense. I don't know that to be fact yet. But it's about 5 Mexican-American caddies in 1955 who decide that they want to learn the game of golf. So they create their own golf course in South Texas. That's all I know about it, but it sounds pretty good. Around 54 minutes long. Hernandez, Julian works. Dennis Quaid, Cheech, Marin. I thought there was more people in it than I recognized, but you know, IMDb doesn't do a good job of popping the people up. But who knows? It is 6.8 on IMDb. Only, what's that? 505 people rated it so far, so not a lot of people rating it, but pretty high. So could be really good. I'll find out. I'll get into it, tell you what it's about, give you a better idea, let you know what I think. Stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of The Long Game, and whew, mixed emotions on this one. I thought the movie was good, right? You know, it's not about the movie good or bad, it's how it really makes you feel. That's where my mixed emotions are. But I wanted to start off with first saying, well, let me get into the plot line, then I'll jump into it, right? So, this new superintendent at the school, the local school, comes in and wants to start he wants to join a country club, which is in 1955 a racist, and would not have anybody in there, including Mexicans. And so he is declined from going into that, but he really loves golf, and so he sees a couple of kids who are playing golf. They're the caddies at the place, but you know, they go out and play golf, not on the course, like in the woods or in the fields, if you will, and finds them, and he says, okay, I want to start a golf team at his new school that he's working at, which is great. And so, as you can imagine, you know, it's not going to be easy. It's not like they're just going to set up a golf team and everything's going to be great. You know, they're going to be, you know, there's people are going to be prejudiced against them, or you know what I mean. So anyway, go on. But the one thing was that I wanted to reference was, you know, they're out in the woods because they're not allowed on golf courses, right? So they're making their own. And I always thought of this, honestly. I used to go for a walk at work all the time, and there would be all these fields that weren't doing anything. They were probably meant to grow corn at some point, but nothing's happening. They're just completely mowed. And it's like field upon fields. And I thought to myself, like, what are they using that land for now? It doesn't seem like anything. I looked at it for years upon years, and I was like, why not just build a big green, like at, you know, right in the middle of it or something like that, or at one certain point of it. I would have to think it out more, but make it a big green. You could put different holes in that green. Sure, you could use it as a putting green, but then you can also come at it from different angles, right? Or you make 2, you know, and you can do it, like, you could, like, pretty much play a whole bunch of different ways. That's what they end up doing. They build a green, you know, and this was 1955 with no equipment, just, you know, like with a machete and stuff like that, and just doing all that, digging it with shovels. Like, imagine if you're an actual farmer, or you know, you have farm equipment and what you can do, and just, you know, play that. So that's what they end up doing, you know, and shows their work ethic. And it's interesting that I thought to see them all like wearing collared shirts, but you know, working and sweating and working real hard. And so it's a story about overcoming adversity and racism and everything like that. You know, to hopefully see Dennis Quaid is a factor in it. He's a friend of the new superintendent, and he's trying to help him succeed. He's a member of the club, but ultimately he wants them to be respected. You know, that's the whole goal here, and he wants them to win the high school state championship, and make that all happen. But anyway, so it's a good story, but just to watch it, you know, like, you know, you don't see it every day, like in everyday life, like the way that, you know, people are prejudiced against them, and the things that they've done, and throughout the entire movie. So it's not just like, you know, hey, there's, you know, we're not going to let them play because, you know, they're not white American or whatever, you know, for one time, and then it gets better. It never gets better. Like, people, you know, just continue, like throughout the entire movie, people continue to, you know, do different things to them because of their nationality. And it just, that's why it was mixed emotions. It's tough to watch that, you know, and it's just crazy, you know, to see how bad it was back then. I'm not saying I'm not going to go down the whole political stance or anything like that, but it was just that's what made it hard. So you're waiting for that great moment that turns everything around, and I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it didn't turn me around enough to forget the 2 hours. I think it was an hour and 50 minutes, the hour and a half of everything that's going on. So yeah. So there you go. I liked it. I didn't know many of the actors. Like I said, Oscar Nuñez is in it. He's actually the principal at the high school. So that was a surprise. Him from The Office. Everybody else I didn't really know, except for Jay, what I say his name was. I knew him. But that's about it. And one of the things that I judged by a true story, they have the words on at the end to see what happened to these characters after the movie ended. I found that very interesting. And I don't want to go into great length there because whatever. But it was interesting to see. I don't know. It was great. There was a lot of good stuff, and I don't want to go into greater detail because a lot of it was worth it. I will say that I did get on my phone a little bit here and there, but it felt a little long and drawn out for me. But good in the end and worth the watch. I will say so. One last thing, because I did write it down. I don't know how many people are watching a new oh man, I'm going to blow it. There's a new show where they're in the earth and they come out on top. Oh, I forget the name of it, but the song starts, it says, I want to set the world on fire. I want to set the world. And it's like, I know, I didn't even start, but that song was in here and I was like, oh wow, that was in that show that I can't remember right now. Sorry. Anyway, I think it's a show about a video game where they come up to after a post-apocalyptic world and all that kind of stuff. And burnout, Shauna, I forget. Anyway, I'm sorry for that last piece, but that's it. There's a long review of The Long Game. Hopefully that was helpful. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.